All right. Recording has commenced, and it is time. And, did I already push that? I sure did. What happened there? Oh, I think I pushed
that button.
Fat-fingered it.
Oh, no.
That's all right. Okay, here we go. In 3, 2, 1.
They claim to be gods, but I can see through to the truth.
Unfortunately, hold on. Come take a look at this.
The Morning Stream, Conan the Barbarian.
Good morning, everybody. Hey, what's going on? It's the morning stream. It's July 15th, 2024. Happy 2 days ago birthday to my mother.
Oh.
We will be celebrating.
Happy birthday, Mama Johnson.
Tonight, we're going to dinner at a place of her choosing, and it'll probably be full of food that John hates, and I can't wait.
Good.
Yeah, she should get to eat what she wants on her birthday, you know?
For sure, absolutely. I mean, even more than for her birthday, she should get to eat what she wants most of the time.
When I'm in my 80s, I better be able to do whatever the F I want anytime I want to do it.
Yeah,
I think that's the goal. As long as you're not, killing people or eating their flesh or something, you should be fine. I'm Scott, that's Brian, and we're here to do another The Morning Stream show. And it's a good time to do it. 2 days shy of my birthday. Let's not think about it.
Right, yeah. Ooh.
Yeah.
Scott just gets older and older.
Yeah, I definitely don't stay the same age.
Years from now, people will watch this show and say, I think both of these guys are dead now.
Yeah, I made the mistake, by the way, of watching my 2018 stage thing, Blizzard thing, because somebody had said, hey, what's that shirt you're wearing under that? So I thought, let me go look, and I started watching it, and the shirt was just some Blizzard shirt. But
yeah,
I was like, man, even in 2018, you just start to see the differences, Age, yes, age is just a number. Yes, we all do it, but it's impossible not to look at an older thing, that's only what, 7 years ago or whatever? Not even that.
Yeah.
And then, right? Is that right? 7?
Yeah.
Right? 8? Yeah. I see that and I just go, yeah, there are parts of my head that weren't gray, and that was great. So a lot has changed. You do what you can do.
Yeah, exactly. That's all you can do. It's all you can do.
I got a new neighbor I'd like to call out here on the show because she did something weird, or she is doing something weird. It's been consistently happening for a couple of weeks now, and I need advice. So here it is.
Okay. Yep.
This is not shaming a neighbor. This is not me unwilling to talk to that neighbor. We're totally going to talk to them, but I just want to get everybody's opinion on this.
Okay. All right.
So here's how they walk their dogs. They have 2 dogs. One is always on leash. The other one they let run free. And sometimes they let it run free without people. And that's only a problem because I'm afraid it's going to get hit. There's a busy street on the other side.
When you say without people, like nobody, like they're not outside and it's just kind of
correct
wandering the front yard. It is like they're just letting it go.
They're just letting it run all around the neighborhood without any kind of supervision. Now, when they're out there, when they're with it, it's still off leash, but they have this other dog that is on leash for some reason. I don't know why they don't just have both dogs off leash, or both dogs on leash for that matter. But here's what they do, and this is why it's weird. And I can't speak to other neighbor people. I assume they're all having a similar issue because it's just the way this would work. But every day, at least twice a day, my doorbell camera catches what it reports as to, it's smart enough to know there are animals on the porch, right?
Oh, that's cool.
So I check the thing and I go, well, let's see what's going on. And it's always video of 2 things. One, the dog that's on a leash is still on leash, but is all the way up over my bushes and onto my front porch, sniffing around.
Okay.
And the other dog that is loose, he's like a white or a vanilla looking lab kind of dog. I'm not even sure what breed it is. He is up there also. And he's running around kind of free. And there's this cat that Carter sort of feeds. It's a stray. It's not a house cat, but it's outside. She puts a little bowl out there for it.
Adopted feral cat kind of thing.
Yeah. So this dog comes up on the porch and immediately leaps on whatever's left of that food and eats it. Right?
Sure. Of course.
And then sniffs around for a bunch of time, and then off they go. Now, about twice a day, this happens. They're both on our porch, all the way up to the door, running around doing stuff, and then off the porch. And now, a loose dog, I kind of understand, because it's a loose dog. They don't play by our rules. It's gonna,
Right. He's literally off the chain.
yeah. This dog is off leash, and when you're off leash, the world is your oyster, and it goes and does whatever it wants. And part of me is like cool with that because I'm like, yeah, it's a dog without a tether. I get it. But the dog that's on leash, that means there's a person on the other end of this long ass leash way out in the street somewhere. Because we don't see her on the camera, by the way, just the dog.
Wow, it's that long a leash that you see the dog and not the leash holder.
Yeah.
Wow.
And it's one of those like retractable jobs,
Yeah.
like long ribbony one, and every day, twice a day at least, sometimes more, that dog's just hunting around the front of the thing. It starts, and then it hops over over the bush and leaves. And I'm not actually, it's not really hurting anything. Like, it's not a problem, really. But it's a little weird, isn't it? It's a little weird.
It's a little weird, and your first thought was my first thought. It's like, okay, well, that's fine if the dog is smart enough to say, okay, I'm going to go down and sniff this house. Hey, they always leave out food for the cat. Yum, 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 yum. Totally fine. But I'm worried that some teenager is going to come. Going to come flying through the circle here that we have, and not be paying attention or looking at their phone and hit the dog. I'd be so worried about that.
Oh yeah, so, yeah. And there have been other neighbors who have their dogs got it loose for other non-intentional reasons, and were hit, and some were killed. One was injured real bad. One was killed. Like, I know it could happen, especially with the busy street over there. So that part bugs me.
Mm-hmm.
But also, I'm just trying to figure out, like, if I'm ever walking a dog, it doesn't matter how long my leash is, I'm never letting one go all the way up to somebody's door. Why would you do that?
Yeah, no, exactly. That's a little, yeah, they're not paying attention. They've got the long leash and they're like, do, let me see if I can figure out today's Wordle.
They're doing Wordle out there like that. That's a good idea.
Yeah, because I say that because I'm pretty sure that there's a person, the person actually that has their dog Maisie that they let run around the neighborhood. When I do see them walking, they're basically like this with the leash, I think, on their wrist, and they're holding their phone in the hand that's got the leash, and then their other fingers tapping away, and they're just walking, and that dog could be barfing up a squirrel, and they would have zero idea of what's going on.
Yeah, you're oblivious to it, and I think that's what's going on. She has a kid who I see on the bike all the time, and that kid is super conscientious bike rider, looking both ways, always checking traffic. He doesn't just rip out into the street. He's always like, he seems like a really conscientious kid, and I feel like pulling him aside and going, Junior, come here for a minute. I'm not a freaky adult. I'm not here for, I'm not pervy. I just have a question for you. Can you tell your mom or whoever it is walking that dog, can you just have, and it's never going to happen. I'm never going to do that, but I feel like he wouldn't do this,
Yeah. So now you need many signs in your yard. Don't climb on this tree. Don't cut across my lawn. Don't let your dog come all the way up to my porch. I mean, let's just it's going to start looking like that. How far are all the cities in the MASH unit sign? Mm-hmm. Like, you're going to have the signs.
Yeah,
and all different directions.
I don't want to be that. I don't want to end up being that neighbor. Well, like I said, with the dog thing, I'm more concerned about the one dog being loose and its welfare. I'm not worried about it on my porch.
Right, of course.
And they're not taking a dump up there, or
they're not. So no dogs are leaving poops behind.
No.
Not like the free roamer or the long leasher.
That I know of. As far as I know, there have been no poops. That's a good question. I should check all the little corners and nooks and crannies up there.
Check for poops. Right.
Yeah, because if they're using it as a toilet space, well, then we got an issue. But if they're just running up and going yip 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 and leaving, I don't care.
Sure.
And the other problem is every time this happens, our dogs lose it because they can hear it.
Oh, of course, yeah. Well, yeah, and that can be obnoxious, especially if you're doing a show and you hear that, even if it doesn't get picked up on camera or on microphone.
Yeah, sirens are enough of a problem. I don't need freaking neighbor dogs up there. So anyway, I don't know. We'll see what happens. Brian, you went and saw Billy Joel. Tell us about it. Tell you everything you feel.
I'm glad you didn't do that song. Yeah. Friends of ours bought tickets to see Billy Joel, and then other friends of theirs said, hey, we're getting tickets to see Billy Joel. We'd love for you guys to join us, and then worked with them to buy 4 tickets together. And they said, well, we have 2 extra tickets. I guess we'll see if any of our friends want them, but then we'll put them on StubHub. And he gave me a killer deal on them, killer discount on them. And they're really only they were only 11 rows further back from where they ended up sitting with their friends. So same section, just 11 rows back.
Wow, that's pretty good.
It's pretty good.
What? How much? What?
Not
Explain.
11 rows back from the stage, Scott.
Oh,
just
no,
11
from
rows back
them.
from their new tickets. Yeah.
Got it. I had it in my head. They were much closer, like they're front row,
gosh.
and you're like 11th row or something. But
No. We were in row 25 of the uppermost level of Coors Field. So
got it.
So seats that are never in any danger ever of having a pop fly hit them. We were basically, it was literally the last row. We could lean our heads back and just basically rest our heads against the grate that keeps people from falling backwards into the city of Denver, the streets of Denver.
Oh gosh, yeah, you don't want that. Wait,
So,
tell me
but
about
just-
StubHub. Is that's just like
Stuff is
secondhand,
a
like
ticket. Yeah, secondhand clearinghouse for tickets,
Okay.
concert or plays or whatever.
makes
Musicals.
sense.
But you know what? The price I paid, totally fine. Sound was great, and you're looking at a dude sitting at a piano. Do you need to be up close? Probably not.
Mm-mm.
you can see what what Billy Joel looks like, and they had the big screens, and so for songs like "We Didn't Start the Fire," they had this kind of cool video going behind him where it was a hand swiping back and forth photos of all the things that he was talking about. So Doris Day, get away,
Oh.
and it would be a finger swiping back and forth on the center screens, and then every time it would swipe right, it would toss that photo to the right screen and toss the other photo to the left screen. So it was like you would get these at the end of each verse, both side screens would be filled with all of the things that were mentioned in the lyrics for that verse, and then the whole thing would go up in flames. We didn't start the fire.
That's actually pretty kind of cool. I wouldn't have.
It was a cool visual, yeah.
Yeah, I like that.
Um,
And so you,
the
because
only
of those
one-
cameras, you were sure you were looking at Billy Joel. Wasn't some just,
I mean, Billy Joel kind of looks a little bit like Jonathan Banks these days, like Mike Ehrmantraut. So who's to say, right?
Yeah. Who knows? F you, F you, Walter. He'd say, and then
That's right.
Yeah.
Walter. No half measures. So sound was great. Billy Joel sounds amazing. And he did, like, we were looking at set list beforehand, and Tina's like, yeah, the set list looks okay, but he isn't doing Pressure, which is Tina's favorite song. And he was doing Scenes from Italian Restaurant, which is mine. We go out there, and the second song he did, like, he comes out and does maybe Vienna or something. I can't remember what the first thing was. And then second song was Pressure, and he hadn't done that on any other stage of the tour. And Tina's like, oh my God, he's doing my favorite song. And
He got word that she was coming.
yeah, he got word that Tina was coming. Like, I'm going to do this one for that woman in the very, very back row that I can't even see, but I know she's up there somewhere.
She looks like an uptown girl to me. Let's do this.
Yes.
Yeah.
And all right. And he did Uptown Girl as part of the encore set. The encore set was
Ugh.
the dude played for 2 hours and 45 minutes, and there were still so many tracks kind of left on the table that he could have pulled from. She's Always a Woman he didn't do, which is another favorite of ours, and there's tons that he could have pulled from. The actual title track from The Stranger, but there were, it was like 90% hits, 10% deep cuts, and freaking awesome sets. But they did Uptown Girl, and I'm going to say I liked it okay live. And I'm realizing it's Billy Joel's love letter to Frankie Valli and the Four Seasons. It's absolutely, when you hear it, it's like, yeah, okay, it is, her time, just like Frankie Valli used to do, and the backing vocals. It's, it's his homage.
That's
just
that
fine.
whole
Just
era.
like-
Yeah.
yeah, just like Tell Her About It is, a tribute to the doo-wop groups, or I'm trying to think. River of Dreams is his tribute to Elton John's Lion King theme, I guess. I don't know.
Sure. Did he do, that reminds me, did he do anything that was new? Has he got new material these days? Or?
He has one new song called Turn the Lights Back On. And he's been doing it on every stop until this one. He didn't do it. He replaced Pressure. He replaced his brand new song, which is really good. And I was looking forward to hearing him do it live. But he replaced that. He must have replaced that with Pressure or something. But
Weird.
yeah, it was.
It's Is it not
that
working?
was surprising because usually it's like, well, we have to do the new song to help sell
Yeah.
the new single or stream the new single.
Sure. But in his case,
But,
it's Billy Joel. He'll be fine.
It's Billy Joel. He can do what he wants, but he did a lot of tracks from The Stranger. Which is hands down the best Billy Joel album. Fight me on that if you want, but you'll lose. And Piano Man, of course. Vienna, New York State of Mind. I mean, it was just such a great show.
That's great.
And he even did some covers. He did "Start Me Up" by the Stones. He gave a lot of his bandmates a chance to step forward and sing. So, like, his guitarist came out and did "Rocky Mountain Way" for Denver, of course.
Yeah.
Joe Walsh,
Sure.
and sounded great.
Sure.
River Deep Mountain High, his backup vocalist, came out and did that one. It was great. It was like a good mix of shows, and it's one of the few stops on the tour where he doesn't have an opening act of some massive caliber.
Was just going to ask you that, is if he had anybody open for him. It sounds like no. That's
No
well,
opening-
I mean, the
no
guy
opening
can command the entire time. I'm sure he really
For
doesn't
sure.
need it, but yeah.
Exactly. And 2 hours and 45 minutes. Who has time for an opening act? And I guess he doesn't do the. He doesn't play that long when he does have an opening act. So he's had Stevie Nicks. He's gonna have Rod Stewart is gonna be his opening act on later part of this tour. He had Sting for a few dates, but nobody came to Denver. But yeah, it was. I mean, boy, incredible show. Zero complaints, zero notes.
That's great. And your price
Billy
was
Joel
good. You
understood
can't.
the assignment.
He did good. I would hope
Yes.
that guy would. Is it a big tour? Is he almost done? Is he still got half the country to do, or what's his?
I think he
deal?
still has half the country to do. I feel like he's got Madison Square Garden on the 25th. And then he goes to Wales in August, Cleveland Browns Stadium. So it's like it's all a lot of arenas and stadiums on this tour, of course.
Yeah.
As it should be.
He can demand that sort of thing, sure.
Yeah. But what an incredible. I'll put a link to the setlist.fm setlist wiki if anyone wants to see it. But let me see. 26 songs he played.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah.
He ended with
Still
"You May
rock
Be
and roll
Right."
to me.
Is that correct at the end there?
That is correct. Ended with "You May Be Right," but that whole "You may be wrong, but you may be right." He kind of faded that into Led Zeppelin's "Been a long time, been a long time, been a long, lonely."
That's
and
cool.
Did a whole Zeppelin rock and roll. He did do "River of Dreams," "Only the Good Die Young." Oh, "Sometimes a Fantasy." There's a deep cut, or not deep cut, but there's like a song you probably haven't thought of since the 80s. The one that goes, "So it's just a fantasy. Oh, it's not the real thing. Oh."
I remember that. Yeah. Sir, he did a cover of "Surfing USA." Weird.
Yeah. Little short one where, because they had beach balls, people tossing beach balls bouncing around. I don't know how I feel about that. I guess if you're at a concert and you've got ADD and you just can't focus on the music and enjoy it, you need something to play with. The beach ball passing around the stadium is just fine. But it landed on the stage, and so he picked it up and he's going, "All right, if everybody had an ocean," and then the band started jumping in on it. And
That's great. That's very good. I'm glad he's still got it, man. That's cool. He's not with what's her name anymore. That ended a long time ago.
Christy Brinkley.
Yeah.
No, it's
She's no longer his uptown girl. Is a different girl now.
no, she's far from being his uptown girl. Nope.
All right.
He's with a new woman that is, I think her name is Alexis.
Sounds
And
right
his
to me.
daughter is named Alexa Ray, and so I'm sure he doesn't have any Amazon products in his house.
No, he's fine. I'm sure nothing goes off when he says their names by accident.
No, nothing at all. And I'm amazed that I didn't trigger my own here when I said that. But,
Yeah. It definitely works at my house if I say anything close to the damn term.
Yeah.
Except for the times I actually want it to go off, and sometimes it doesn't. Freaking F that.
Right. Yeah. Sure enough.
I was going to say, one other quick thing here. So we got a listener who had a question about the Hulu Disney thing. I'd mentioned how I finally merged my accounts and made the one.
Yeah.
They had to do it
And
from
I
the
did that
Hulu.
as well. Yeah, a while back.
Had to do it from the Hulu side. Couldn't do it from the Disney side for who knows why reason. But anyway, wrote in and said, this has got no name on it. He says, "Hello, this is for the morning stream." Oh, he says his name. This is Thomas from New Hampshire. I missed it. Wondering when you combined your Disney in Hulu account, how that work, or how does that work? Right now, I pay monthly for Hulu and yearly for Disney. Will they stop one of them? Is it a monthly charge now? Tell me more, please, and thank you, and love the show. So I think you're in a weird position because mine was month to month, and that's just easy to roll into. So I don't know how you do it. Did you do that?
And you and I think maybe it was me and Nicole. We did that thing where when Disney Plus, before they launched, they did a 3-year, like if you prepay for 3 years, you get it at a locked-in, like you pay once and you get it like at a 50% or some huge discount. I don't know if do you remember that?
When it was like when they launched, it was like $6 and it was amazingly cheap. And then I think they had a deal where you could buy a few years at a time before the price hike, and then you could keep it where it was. Basically, it's your grandfather option. Yeah. So that sucks because then it doesn't suck.
You can't do a merge thing because you've prepaid for it. Now that ended before I did obviously merged everything and did the Hulu thing.
Right.
But I timed it because I was paying. I think we were paying annually for Disney as well after that point. And so it must have been at the 4-year anniversary. That's when we're like, all right, Hulu's coming up at this time, just monthly renewal. Disney Plus was coming up for its annual renewal at this time. Let's cancel Disney Plus and then do the big Hulu live TV bundle with ESPN and no commercials and all that sort of thing.
Right.
And it still obviously came out to be a much better deal. So I don't know what you do. I mean, if you're paying annually for Disney, you might just have to wait, Thomas from New Hampshire, and time it so that when you renew Disney, that's when you do the switch off, and just don't renew Disney.
Yeah, and I assume he's got less than a year till it renews. So he should be, unless today is your year, unless you just re-up.
And you might be, and you know what? You might even be able to call them and say, or contact somebody or get in touch with their customer service and say, anyway, I can get a prorated refund on the remaining months. I'm merging you guys with the Hulu. You're going to get my money a different way, but can I get prorated back for the?
Yeah. I got onto their service thing, and they do have an actual human talk to you on their little chat box.
Oh, that's good. Wow.
Yeah. He couldn't do anything for me because of my predicament, but maybe your deal's different. Maybe they can solve your problem. Because your problem is definitely, Thomas, your issue is more Disney sided of an issue, whereas mine was more of a Hulu problem. So you might be okay. And it's definitely whatever, these are all going up too high, but that combo is probably the best value right now in streaming.
We love it. Yeah, the price really good for us, and they do offer a deal where I could again prepay for the full year and then lock in that price, but
I know, right? Because you don't want to. Then you'll be like Thomas.
Big outlay at once.
Yeah, you'll be like Thomas. If something changes, you want to have some flexibility, right?
Exactly. I want to be able to say, you know what, we don't like Disney Plus anymore. You're done. I can't believe you killed Stitch in a TV show. The death of Stitch.
Wait, they did that? Stitch is dead?
No.
Shit! No. I was about to lose my mind.
Yeah, they did that in Leroy and Stitch, the film that you and I discovered yesterday actually exists.
Yeah, the evil red Stitch or whatever it was.
Evil red Stitch. How did I not know about this?
That's crazy. Brian's got some watching to do, I'll tell you that.
Yeah. First, I'm going to watch Cinderella 3, the time travel Cinderella sequel.
I'm going to call out somebody who's no longer in the channel, so I'm not actually feeding the troll. The troll's not here to eat. But because I kicked him. But I wanted to just mention this because I think it's weird. I'm just trying to understand. I'm trying to imagine a place in my life where I would have the time or energy or inclination to go into some random live YouTube thing like ours.
Sure.
A place I don't know with people I don't know, full of a chat room that I don't know. And I go in, and the only thing I say in that chat is, "Are you guys woke?" ? And that's all you say. Like I don't understand where. If that's where your head is and this is what you do for just a random thing to do, I encourage you, I urge you, I implore you to find more meaning in your life.
Right, exactly. Yeah.
Find something to care about, something productive, something that's good for your soul. Something creative, an outlet, anything.
You might get a level 3 dopamine from trolling live YouTubes. That's great. you probably could do something even better that gives you like a level 6 or a level 7 dopamine rush by doing it.
Yeah.
Like, volunteering at your local animal shelter to walk all the dogs a couple times a week.
Even simple stuff. Go play like a video game or something, or
right.
Go rub one out. I don't know. Whatever you do,
or both.
Do both at the same time.
Both at the same time.
While you're talking to your Xbox buddies. All right, moving on.
Yeah, there you go.
Let's get Dunaway all up in it. We're going to do some half-asses today. I've been looking forward to this one.
Cool, yeah.
I don't know why. I'm just in the mood for a little trivial competition. He's been winning lately. I don't like that.
I know. You need to fix that situation.
Yeah, we need to change the paradigm. Please help me welcome to the program one Brian Dunaway. Hi, Brian.
Oh, hi, Scott and Brian. Happy Monday.
Happy Monday, Brian.
To you too, sir.
Yeah. How was your weekend, man? I saw you for a lot of it, but how was it?
I know, right? Well, you mean since just like 12 hours ago? Jeez,
right,
Scott.
yeah.
I didn't do much except sleep. No,
No.
I don't know. That's a good question. What did we do since then? Oh, I went back and I rewatched our watching of X-Men from last Friday because that was fun.
Oh, that was
I was
fun.
curious about that. Yeah.
Yeah.
You guys are doing the original stuff, not the new X-Men 97 watch.
We'll probably pick that up again. You know how we watched the first two with you? And and so that's what got us in the mood. We're like, what we ought to do is go back and just rip through the old shit. So we're going to do that, and then we'll get back to current and then rewatch the new season as well. But it's been fun just because some of that old stuff is really...
Yeah, me and Scott discovered some writers that made their way in there that should have been fired.
Mm-hmm.
Magneto was doing Magneto was doing some weird stuff.
Yeah, episode
I did
4.
the final season of the original X-Men right before 97 came out, but that's it. That's as much as I could do. It's just
Well, season 1, episode 4 is a real bummer, man. I don't know what happened.
Oh, really?
There. It's so bad. It's just horribly made. But sometimes from garbage comes great things, and the new season is nothing but amazing. So anyway, we're really enjoying doing that. Well, it's good to have you here. Let's enjoy trying to beat each other at a game that Brian made up, and he'll explain the rules and who's on tap to win stuff today, Brian.
Absolutely. Welcome to the Morning Half-Asses, a trivia game where I'm actually going to be giving you the answers. I'm going to give Scott and Brian a category and 6 possible answers, 3 of which are correct, and 3, like that song Tell Her About It by Billy Joel, are wildly incorrect. Depending on how confident they feel with the category, they can provide 1, 2, or 3 guesses, but if they get any wrong, they get 0 points for that round. Get 1 right gets you a point, 2 right gets you 3 points, and 3 right gets you 5 points for that round. We'll add up all the points for both of you guys at the end, and the player with the most points wins the prize for their contestant. Who are you playing for, you might ask?
Hey, who am I playing for?
Who am I playing for, Brian?
That's it right there.
Yeah.
Scott, you're playing for Benjamin Colson in Chico, California.
Chico. I like it.
Right. And Brian, you're playing for Tim Lee in Sonora. No, I think that's supposed to be Sonora, California, but it looks like Sonora.
But Tim Lee is who we're fighting for, right? Tim Lee.
You're playing for Tim Lee, Brian.
That is great. That is a great.
You know what? What if that's
that?
Tim? That might be Tim Berners-Lee, creator of the World Wide Web. You don't know.
Could be right there. Does he live in? Would he not know how to spell Sonora?
No, but that sounds like a weird European place he might have been living.
Oh, maybe it's Sonora, Canada. That could be
shit!
Oh, Sonora.
That's awesome.
Yeah. All right. We'll talk about what the prizes are after this. Let's go ahead and get to your questions. Let's start off with let's do medicine, human body anatomy.
Oh, I just did medicine this morning. Cool. Let's do some more.
And you guys both have anatomy, so this should be right up your alley. Which of these are parts of the small intestine? You've got the ileum, the omasum, the reticulum, the duodenum, the rumen, and the jejunum.
Oh my lord.
Well, they're small intestines, you say?
The small intestine. Yeah, don't give me any of that large intestine BS.
No.
I call my anatomy. No, I'm not gonna say that. Let me see what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna keep it straight this time. Okay. Rumen sounds like Raymond, and I don't know if I want to do that.
Raymond? That sounds like ramen.
Ramen.
Or Rayman, that great game with the person who couldn't draw bodies.
Yeah. You eat what you eat. I eat what I eat.
Yeah. Hey, don't feel bad. When I was growing up, we called it Korean soup because we were weird.
Korean soup.
Yeah, because we had so many Koreans in the house, and that's all they wanted was my brother. He wanted ramen, and so we just called it Korean soup. Anyway,
Nice. All right. You guys both settled on the reticulum. You guys picked some other ones in addition, but reticulum, oh no, that's one of the 3 cow stomachs. As are omasum and rumen. Those 3 are cow stomachs. The real parts are the ileum, the duodenum, which
I knew the duodenum.
Brian picked, and rumen, which is the jejunum is the other one.
What's a duodenum? What is it? Was the actual part of? Is it where it like splits
what
off?
Part of the small intestine?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I'm
That's
just
a
curious.
really good question.
Because it sounds like 2, so it's like a split.
Right, a double denim.
Yeah, double denim. 2 pairs of
All
pants.
I know is that they talked about it whenever I was getting my gallbladder removed or something. I don't remember. They said a lot of things, but I do remember that. And they said, duodenum. I said, and how?
Yeah,
and I thought, that's okay.
Nice.
Yeah.
Kelly, both Kelly and Bobby confirmed that the duodenum is the first part of the small intestine after the stomach.
Oh,
okay.
All right, and
That makes sense, then.
that's a good place. You want to take care of that little place there. It's a good
Take
good
care
hole.
of that place. That's, that's an important part of
Yeah.
your intestine. All right. Well, you guys did really well with that. Let's move on to question 2. See how much you paid attention to MTV.
All right.
Which of these music videos, there you go, were set in Paris? Beautiful Day by U2, Heart of Glass by Blondie, Nothing Compares to You by Sinead O'Connor, Started from the Bottom by Drake, Someone Like You by Adele, and Rhythm Nation by Janet Jackson. 3 of those videos were shot in Paris, and 3 of them were not.
I only know 1 for sure.
Okay.
I guess I shouldn't say that because Dunaway could strategize around me saying 1. I picked all.
Well, there's one I'm thinking
I
of.
chose
but
all 3,
I don't
Brian.
remember,
All 3.
I don't remember anything about this one video except someone's bald head, and I don't remember anything in the background. She could have been in Paris. All right.
I mean, that could have been you looking at Brian right now, as far as you know.
That's right. Exactly.
He just tore up a picture of the Pope.
I did. Fight the real enemy.
Yeah, it's controversial as hell. Everyone's going to talk about it for
Isn't
30
the
years.
current Pope kind of a nice guy, though? Shouldn't
Yeah,
he?
he's all right.
All right,
I
right.
mean,
The one that she tore up was a real jerk, right? He was a real duodenum.
He may make some slurs, yes.
Yeah, I don't know. And plus, there's an Irish person in the chat that will lose her mind in a second. So we got to.
Right.
Set in Paris. The music videos were set in Paris. Because there's some people questioning my use of shot in Paris. Set in Paris is what the card says.
That's what. Yeah, that's what I thought you meant was set in Paris.
Le Moops.
Even if they were in front of the Vegas Eiffel Tower, I would.
That's right. Yes.
Right. Yeah, you could fake it there. And
Yeah.
if you can fake
You
it
can
there,
fake
you
it
can
there,
fake it anywhere. Yeah, exactly.
Yes. I'd like to know which things people would choose. So, Amy, which would you choose differently after we give the answers? Which would you choose differently based on that clarification?
Calling Amy out specifically.
Well,
nice.
she's the one who said set in Paris or shot in Paris. It's like, all right, I'm curious. Actually,
that'll
if there's
learn
one,
you, chat room.
if there's
ask
one
a
that
question.
looks like, no, I'm curious. Actually, no, I'm curious
Okay.
if there is one.
Okay.
Nobody's complaining about my started Form the Bottom by Drake, by the way. No one has called me out on that typo.
All right, Brian, did you?
All right,
let's
Started on the bottom, and I'm working my way up.
Started Form the Bottom. All right, let's see. Scott, the one you knew for sure was indeed that bald head, Sinead O'Connor. Yeah, Nothing Compares to You was set. And I think even shot in Paris, she walked through.
Did she walk through?
I think you see her walking through.
The only thing I remember is her
Paris.
wearing that black turtleneck and her head, and that's the only thing I remember.
Right, it alternated between just a close-up shot of her looking right at the camera and singing.
It was full black and white, if I remember right?
Full black and white. Yep.
Good job.
Beautiful Day by U2, also set in Paris.
Mm-hmm.
And the third one is Adele's Someone Like You. A point for Scott. Scott,
good
going
job,
into
Scotty.
the third round.
My
with a point.
carefulness was a strategy, and I paid off only because I figured Brian might overchoose, and so it worked out.
Yep, and he did overchoose.
Overchoose.
Yeah,
I think you had Beautiful Day locked in first, Brian, and then you added Rhythm Nation. And
Well, it got me.
My wife. Did I tell you guys my wife just saw a Janet Jackson concert? I forgot to talk about this on the show.
Well, I remember you mentioning. I'm like, oh my god, that would be such a great show.
She enjoyed it. It was
great. Yeah.
It was an outdoor place, and she had a blast. I think Post Malone is performing there in a week or so. It's a really nice place called the USANA something. Anyway, it's a really nice venue. It's nowhere near. I wish it was like Red Rocks. Every city needs a Red Rocks, dude.
Every city needs a Red Rocks. But then I wouldn't have anything to talk with people about who I pick up at the airport and they're like, "Well, we've got a couple extra days. What kinds of things should we do?" I'm like, "Go to Red Rocks."
Yeah.
Even if you don't see a show there, go during the first half of the day when it's just open to the public, or if there's a band you even remotely find interesting, go see them at Red Rocks, and it'll still be one of the most amazing shows you've ever seen.
Yeah.
I got a question while we're on this subject. I haven't been on social media in a while, so I was on TikTok and I noticed like 3 or 4 of the videos were like J-Lo concert having 12,000 missing seats, nobody there. Is that some people just throwing some shade at J-Lo?
No, she canceled her.
She's-
She canceled her
yeah.
whole tour as a result. She's done.
Due to lack of interest.
Yeah.
Okay.
Although I think she's using she's going through some turmoil right now in her relationship,
Okay.
so it was a good reason to kind of
Take a break.
take a break as well.
Okay.
But this Janet Jackson thing, here's the funniest part. Kim comes home, and she didn't say a word. She walked in, and I said, "Did she show her boob?" That's all I said.
Of course, she did.
She said no.
And
no one was there to rip
she,
it off.
She didn't even say no. She just came up and punched me in the arm and then walked past me.
Good.
Yeah. So that's that'll tell you all you need to know about Kim's reaction to my boob
She
comment.
had a pasty on. Come on.
Well,
Prudes.
look, it all 2004, 20 years ago that happened. By the way,
Yeah.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
Shocking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And guess who they invited back to the Super Bowl? Justin Timberlake.
Yeah. Yeah. Well done,
But
Super
he had to
Bowl.
have his hands in his pockets the whole time, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No female dancers were allowed to get within 10 feet of him.
He had to wear big mittens, just the thumb and the
Right,
big round
exactly,
mitten.
yeah, oven mitts.
That'd be
Very
amazing.
grabby hands.
All right.
Cool.
Let's-
All right, let's get to the last question here. And you guys both have used this, both being artists. You have used these tools. Let's see how well you do with them. Which of these are Crayola colors that got renamed?
Oh.
Torch red, Prussian blue, puce, shadow, nut brown, and chartreuse. Which
Puce.
3 of those got renamed into other colors?
I've chosen mine because I'm
Wow.
confident in these 2 choices.
Wow. I don't even know at all, and I'm like,
I could be wrong.
let me
It's purely just sounds right to me. I really don't know.
so the thing that was confusing me was it got renamed, but it was a color, right? All these colors have existed or still exist. There's no
Yeah.
gotchas, right?
I think
I'm
so.
not saying that.
Oh,
All
he
right,
is
fine.
not
That's
saying
what I
that.
figured. That's the reason why I was holding off. I was like, there's one on here that I'm not confident ever was, but okay. If it was, it probably got renamed. I'm gonna go with those 2.
Okay, all right.
2 to 2. Here we go.
Woo, both locked in, and you both
Yeah.
locked in on Torch Red. Torch Red, very good choice.
Fire!
That got renamed Scarlet in 1998.
Yeah, it
Smart
makes
move
sense.
there.
Yeah, because it sounds like it incites a little bit of violence or something, right?
It
Torch
does,
Red.
yes. Go Torch Red.
Yeah.
Prussian Blue, another one that got renamed.
Oh.
That one actually got renamed to Midnight Blue in 1958.
Well, we hate
do
the
the Prussians
Prussians.
think about that?
Prussians are dicks, so don't worry about it.
Is right, exactly. Puce, never been a Crayola color.
Oh shit.
Shadow.
Oh.
Shadow is
Yeah.
currently a color, and it did not get
Oh.
renamed.
Yeah.
Nice. Uh-oh.
And
You know what
your
that means,
last
don't
2,
you?
one of you
Don't you know what
picked-
that means?
One of you
That
picked
means-
nut brown. The other one
Yeah.
of you picked chartreuse.
Doesn't matter.
One of them is right. One of them is wrong.
Oh.
Nut brown
Yeah!
has never been a Crayola color. Chartreuse.
Across
Got
the finish
renamed.
line at the last second.
Chartreuse got renamed to Laser Lemon in 1990. Laser Lemon is what used to be called chartreuse. Congratulations, Brian! At last minute
Woo!
rally there.
I thought nut brown might have been like it sounded.
Nut
brown
gross
felt
or
like
something.
bait.
Yeah, it
Nut
felt
brown
it is
never,
bait.
never a color. Thank goodness.
It is totally a bait one. I shouldn't have done it.
Nut-
I would have thought. My guess was chartreuse was still in there. That was a thing.
I would. Are
Yeah.
you kidding me? Trying to get kids to shoo.
I
What does this
absolutely
say,
remember
Mom?
seeing chartreuse in the crayon box, and I guess up until 1990 we did. And I don't even know Laser Lemon. What
It's no
What are you
better.
talking about, Laser Lemon?
I was gonna say I can only hear him saying that. That's funny.
Yeah.
Our brains in the same place. That's great.
So congratulations, Brian, and by proxy, congratulations, Tim Berners-Lee, creator of the internet in Sonora, California.
Finally, he's getting his due here on the show.
Finally, yes. Actually, he does have his middle name in his Gmail account. I won't say what it is. But congratulations. Tim, you're getting a copy of The Excavation of Hobbs Barrow.
Oh.
And East Side Hockey Manager. Yes, we've tried to give it away 2 times before, and in both cases, they already had it. East Side Hockey Manager and The Excavation of Hobbs Barrow going out to Tim. But don't worry, Benjamin Colson in Chico, California, you're getting a copy of another game we tried to give away before, Observer. Again, one that the winners had before. So you're getting Observer. You're not going away empty-handed. You're just going away.
I'm looking at the Hobbs Barrow thing. Just has me interested. What is this? This is interesting. Folk horror point and click adventure game. I like games like that. That's cool.
Ooh,
okay.
Set in the Victorian folk horror. Yeah, this is the category.
Folk horror. Okay.
Yeah.
Horror.
Folk horror.
Horror. Set in the Victorian era. That's interesting.
So you would say horror then, for sure.
Reviewed quite well. You know what? IGN gave it a 90. That's pretty high.
Ooh, that's very good.
I think our winner really did get a winner. Nice job.
Yeah.
Well done, everybody. It means you get this.
Congratulations.
I get this. Where is it? Where's my thing where I lose? That's okay, though. I'll give it another try on Wednesday, and I feel a little better about my chances because one of you will be calling in that day, and you can be a part of my win. Okay? That'll be the goal. Hey, Dunaway, is there anything you'd like to say before you get the F out?
Yes, let's see. We're going to do Wednesday, but then the following Monday, there's no TMS. Is that right?
That's
correct.
Right.
So this is you're a half-asses champion for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Oh
feels
my
good.
gosh.
It feels good. I think I'll
raise
take a lap.
that belt high.
Yeah. Do a couple parades. Have your fans go crazy downtown, pull down light poles, stuff like that. I think
that's what we do. That's what we do.
I'm excited. Well, I can't wait to see you on Wednesday where we can do this all over again. Have a fantastic couple of days.
Oh, no you.
Bye now. He thought I was going to hang up fast. I didn't.
I know you didn't. Yeah.
All right. We have a little bit of time for at least a news story, if not more, and we're going to give it a shot right now. It's time for the news, and it's brought to you by...
One of our tadpoolers streams all the time at Nerd Steve on Twitch. That's nerd with a 3. So we think you should check him out. That is twitch.tv/nerdsteve, N3RDSTEVE, Nerd Steve on Twitch.
Yep. Just that first E, everybody.
Just the first E.
Yeah.
Don't do all the E's.
No.
That first one.
All those E's will not be 3s. Only one E is 3. I like the E's and 3s rhyme. It's nice. It's a nice touch.
Yeah, E's and 3s. Yeah.
Yeah. You can use it for an E. It also sounds like one. All right. Check it out, everybody. We got a weird one here. A man urinates on deli sandwiches in Boardman. I don't know where Boardman is. Let's see. I forgot to look that up.
Boardman.
Somewhere. Is this in the States? It is. I don't know where the city is. Well, anyway, police, see if you can figure that out. Police were called to the 1300th block of Doral Drive around 7:30 p.m. Reports said a store manager was notified around 5:30 p.m. that an unidentified customer reportedly urinated into a deli cooler full of sandwiches that were displayed for sale. Where is
Ohio, by the way.
Ohio.
Ohio. Isn't Ohio becoming the new Florida?
They're giving the Gen Zs really give shit to Ohio.
It does feel like we've, when we look up a place that we don't recognize the name of in our news stories, it seems like Ohio comes up a lot lately.
Yeah, and the kids use it as a derogatory. So if you have, it's like, oh, my car broke down. It's so Ohio. They'll say that now.
Oh, no, really?
Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
I think that's lame.
Hey, kids, say less.
Yeah, say less things. You know what? Just live with the ones that stick, like cool, dude.
Yeah, the tried and true established terms.
Gross.
Yeah, exactly.
The word gross has been around forever. No one ever changes it. It's fine. Stick with those. Stick with the standards.
Those are fine.
We sound like such old guys telling these guys how to talk.
Yeah. Hey, you kids, why can't you use the words we invented?
I'll make them a deal. I will not criticize what they say if they don't go into people's chat rooms and say, "Are you guys woke?" and then leave.
Fair enough. You know what? I like that trade. It's a good trade.
It is a good trade. I feel good about it as well. Anyway, reports said the sandwiches were disposed of and the cooler was cleaned. Well, I hope that that's the case. They haven't been able to find the guy. This sounds like, what is the movie where they pee on sandwiches? Oh, vacation. The first vacation. It's a dog.
Yes,
though.
Vacation. The dog does, and Cloris, or not Cloris Leachman, who's the mom? Just keeps on, like, once she hears that, she's like, shrug, keeps on eating them.
Yeah. Oh my gosh! So it wasn't Randy Quaid didn't pee on him. That wasn't the story. It was dogs.
It was the dog. It was Okay. It was the dog.
For whatever reason, I want Randy Quaid to pee.
Why are the sandwiches all wet, kids? Oh my God! There's the dog peed on the sandwiches, and Grandma just goes.
By the way, if there wasn't another reason to like Jack Quaid, because I already like Jack Quaid.
Yes.
The other day, somebody did an interview, and he's always getting accused of being a pedo baby. Not pedo. It's not pedo. What is it? What's it called?
Nepo baby. Nepotism.
Nepotism baby.
He's a real pedo baby.
Because, his parents are famous and, loaded, and they were actors and stuff, and his uncle and all that. I loved his answer in the interview. He said, yeah, I came from an extremely privileged position to do this. Like, it's still hard. Nobody just gets into acting if they can't do anything, but yeah, I got to start at a higher point than most people do. I realize it. I mean, he fully accepted it. I don't know. I really like that guy. I like him. I like him more than his parents and his uncle for sure.
Yeah, I don't like seeing his naked butt sitting on a cake in the latest episode of The Boys, or recent episode of The Boys. But other than that,
other than that, it's fine.
No wrong.
Sure.
Yeah.
Dude, yesterday, Phoebe was here. And we didn't know she had a full diaper, and this was like a real 4-alarmer, man. It was like
oh no, really? Like like she ate a bowl of lentil soup.
Yeah, worse. It was like all like she's currently hooked on blueberries, and she ate a ton of blueberries.
Oh yeah, that's. Yeah,
and they just tore through her
poop pills.
So we didn't know this, and Carter is doing this thing where she's laying on the ground flat in the living room. Phoebe's standing on top of her, and then Phoebe will suddenly just kick her legs out and land really hard on Carter. And doing this over and over and over. And as she's doing it, I look down and I go, oh shit, something's coming out of her pants.
Oh.
And the baby's not going to say anything. She's only 18 months. She's not going to go, careful, I'm going to poo on my Aunt Carter. But we stopped it before real catastrophe. It was bad.
Oh, really? Okay, so none got on Carter.
No, but she panicked. She was worried.
Yeah.
Can't blame her, right?
Wow. Yeah.
Anyway, this is $511. This is more than you won at your trivia last night.
Wow, yeah. By $11.
Worth of sandwiches.
66 cents.
I know, right?
Sandwiches, yeah.
65 deli sandwiches had to be thrown away. They say the suspect is a white male who stands at 6 feet tall, weighs 200 pounds. Police said he has white hair and was wearing a red Make America Great Again hat. Wonderful. Reports say he was wearing transitional style glasses. I guess that's the ones you go out in the sun and they turn dark,
they turn red. Yep.
Peach-colored horizontal striped shirt, black shorts, tan flip-flop sandals. Reports say he was wearing a lanyard around his neck with a plastic placard attached. Really wandered far from the convention, didn't he? Jeez. Well, anyway, good luck on finding that guy.
Oh, jeez.
And that's all the news they wrote today. We're going to take a break. When we come back from this break, Stephen Schleicher will join us as he ramps up for the new school year. I know he's excited about this. But anyway, we're going to talk to him about some comic stuff. So stick around. It'll be right after this song Brian brought.
Yeah. All right. So I'm going to say a word that might scare people, and I want to get it out. I'm just going to rip the Band-Aid off and get this word out so people aren't like, oh, I'm skipping this song for sure. The word is experimental. Exactly. See, yeah, that's the reaction a lot of people had. But guess what? It's good. Experimental rock trio Nova Charisma have a brand new single. It's called "Stolen from Each Other." Their forthcoming studio album is called Metropolitan. And man, these guys are great. Love this track. And forget the word experimental. It's just damn good. This is a follow-up to their release of Smoking Gun with Metropolitan, a rockin' tug-of-war between two different beings. This is more pensive. Stolen from Each Other is a contemplative reflection on life on the road, and the extreme ups and downs it brings. Oh, whatever. It's a good song. Here's the song Stolen from Each Other by Nova Charisma.
I want to kill everyone. Satan is good. Satan is our pal.
But this is just a guess. We'll have to verify it ourselves.
The further work of the fantastic Eric Van Skyhawk there. A little bit of transitional music. Brian, hey, that song seemed great and experimental. What was it?
It was. Boy, this is an experiment that succeeded in creating great rock and roll. That's Nova Charisma from their upcoming album, Metropolitan. And that's the single from it called Stolen from Each Other.
Nice. Have to check that out.
Yeah.
All right. We are, what are we doing? Oh, yeah.
We're bringing in Steven.
Yeah. I couldn't remember for a second.
I know,
What
I know.
day
What
is
day
it?
is it? I don't even know.
Yeah.
I don't
This
know.
weekend was crazy for me, so I honestly,
Yeah.
it does not feel like a Monday, but I'm happy to be here on a Monday and welcoming this guy. Let's play his little intro.
And now welcome Steven to the show. He's a huge freaking nerd.
Dollar bills, y'all.
He certainly is, but we love him anyway. It's Steven Schleicher joining us from Majorspoilers.com. Hello, Steven.
Hello, Scott. Good morning, Brian.
Good morning.
Good morning. It's nice to have you here. I feel like we haven't seen you for a bit. We've had some swap aroundage and stuff going on, so it's
Yeah,
good to have
kids
you
are the
back.
worst, man.
Yeah.
They really are. They really just cut
Yeah, they got to go to a
into-
doctor's appointment. They got to go to this thing. They got to go, get braces put on.
What a pain. What a pain.
I know, right? I know.
Who should let the state handle it, you know? Let them deal with
Yeah,
it.
let's put them into one of them kids' homes that the states have.
Yeah.
Yeah, perfect.
Well, it's good to have you here. I know you're ramping up for the new year. Are you excited about this
Yeah.
year? Is there anything cool happening? You got any I don't know, big changes at the college?
Well,
the
not
college?
this year, but next year we are supposed to have our department's about 200 kids. That's pretty good size.
Yeah.
But we're going to add maybe up to 100 more kids
Jeez.
next year
Jeez.
because of this agreement we have with this school in China. So, yeah, it's going to be we're not prepared for it.
No. So wait a minute. It'll be like what do you call that when you exchange student type stuff?
Yeah, it's a 3+1 program where the students do 3 years in China, and then their final year they come to the United States and they complete their program here, and they get a dual degree, one from their China Institute, one from here. A lot of schools will do 2+2, but this one wants to do a 3+1. Maybe because they don't want their kids staying in the United States that long and getting weird ideas and stuff.
Is that it?
I mean,
They got a little.
I'm not
before they
gonna
get
get you in trouble with the Chinese government, Scott.
I mean, look,
come
there's
on.
a little bit of xenophobia on all sides, really.
Oh, well, I mean, yeah, there's also that question, right? Because that's the thing that we're very concerned about is what happens in November, and will that radically change who can come to the United States from international places? So
Yeah. Or how long will you? Well, yeah, we could get into what would happen. We don't want to get into that. I'm trying to
Yeah,
ignore
no.
the next 4 months. It's going to be hard.
yes, yes,
It's going to be really hard.
Oh, you know what
yeah.
we could focus on though, Brian, the next 21 days.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry, 16 days.
I was going to say
days.
16 days,
Yeah.
right? Because
So
I'm so excited.
So for people who haven't ever heard Brian talk about Marvel United, the game from Cool Mini or Not or Come On or whatever they're calling themselves these days,
Yeah.
I'm a huge fan of that too. But people for
Simon,
years,
I guess, yeah.
yeah, have been asking for, hey, can you guys do a DC edition? And so last week, Simon, Come On, released DC Superheroes United on GameFound. They met their goal of $200,000 in less than 30 minutes.
Of course they did. I mean,
Of course they did.
Their stuff just prints money. Their games just print money.
Yeah, they do. The delivery part is the tough time because
Yeah.
you are lucky because I'm so jealous of you, Brian Ibbett. You got your Marvel United Multiverse edition, and I'm less than 5 hours away from you. And they're saying, yeah, maybe in August, maybe
Oh
September.
no, really? You still haven't received yours?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, and I'm a low backer too. I'm a super low backer of that, and I have not received mine yet. So
Wow.
I'm super jealous of you. But yeah, now
You
DC Comics.
Yeah.
So
you too.
Do you want me to
Hey,
send Kate over there to stand next to the pile of boxes to make them look a lot smaller than they really are?
I was
my
going to say.
wife, she's like 4'11", so that would make it.
I
look
was
more
going to say
impressive.
your wife is shorter than all of our wives. She should stand next to it and really impress everybody with how big your
make
stack
it
is.
really tall, yeah.
Well, that's
Yeah.
great. So
Did-
now
did
we got
Brian back
DC.
it? That's the question.
Well, did you back it, Brian? I don't know if you did.
I did not back it. Listen, I love DC, and I feel like if I'm going to back any DC Heroes United project, it's going to be this first one, right? Because it's going to be all of the characters you want: Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman, Flash, Green Lantern, etc., etc. Instead of having to get like alternate World 14 Superman with the mustache or whatever that'll come out in the future boxes. But I have. Well, what did I come up with? I have so many damn figures to paint
Yeah.
Yeah, there's just not going to happen. I think I actually did come up with a number just of the minis I've got that need to be painted. 120 still left to paint in the first set. No, I take that back. 44 still left to paint in the first set. 120 in the second set, and then brand new 139 from the set I just received. So, like 300 or something minis that I have to paint.
It's a lot.
What's great is now that I've got all 3 sets, I can start kind of grouping and saying, oh, well, all right, if I'm doing Killmonger, then I can also do Wolverine's Fang costume, because that's the same colors, and this other one that's got yellows and browns, a yellow jacket or something, and kind of group those into ones where if I'm airbrushing, I can airbrush the same color onto all of them at the same time.
That's cool.
So how are you painting your X-Men? Are you doing blue and gold? Are you doing Wolverine brown and yellow? How are you doing?
There's a set. So the Wolverine that I've done is yellow and blue, original costume Wolverine.
Okay.
But the second series, Marvel United X-Men, came with a blue and gold team in which you've got the Wolverine in his in their blue and gold costumes. So it'll be I think that one came with. Let me see. Old Man Logan. Did it just come with?
I think it just came with Old Man Logan as the
so
Kickstarter
Wolverine, Weapon X, Old Man Logan. So maybe it's the new one has another Wolverine. There's something that's got. I could have sworn I had another Wolverine that was going to be yellow and blue. Maybe not. So or the yellow and black X-Men student costume. So I guess I've already done it. I've got the yellow and blue Wolverine.
Right.
That's the one I want.
I'm curious about this DC United one because it's been going on on Wednesday. It'll be a full week. They haven't crested $1 million yet. It's only 800,000. I personally think some of their stretch goal figures are maybe not figures I would have included. Like, with their very first villain in the stretch goals was Black Mask, which is a Batman villain. I was like, well, that's an odd choice to do.
That is an odd choice, yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, they've got Black Manta and Parasite and Gorilla Grodd and Despero and Steppenwolf and Ra's al Ghul. Yeah, and the new one is Ocean Master. The last, I think,
I don't know who that is.
Marvel United one only did about $2.5 million. So I'm curious if this one will get up to that height. I mean, it's DC Comics. They did release a Metropolis expansion set last Friday, so I would imagine that they're going to do a Gotham one, which will include more of the Batman family. They haven't done a Green Lantern Corps one, and that one will be interesting because there's no Green Lanterns anywhere in these sets.
Oh, then for sure that's a plan. Yeah.
Yeah.
And they haven't done so. Teen Titans they released, so I'm wondering how many.
That was part of the original kickoff. Yeah.
Gotcha. I'm wondering how many Robins we're going to end up with, right? Because we'll get Robin, we'll get Nightwing.
Yeah, so that's interesting because in the Teen Titans one, they do have Robin, and in parentheses next to his name it says Dick Grayson.
Sure.
And so the question on Friday when they did their live stream was, does that mean there's going to be a Tim Drake? Is that going to mean there's going to be the horrible Robin that nobody likes? Does that mean there's going to be, like a Stephanie Brown version? Right. I mean, yes, people like Batman's son. I don't particularly like that character, but there you go. So.
Oh, right. Yeah. And Zan and Jaina and Glee.
Zan and Jaina are the
Kickstarter exclusives. I kind of like that, actually.
I know, right? Now you kind of want to get in on this, don't you, Brian?
There's a little part of me that does, but it's like I look at just how much I've got left to paint, and I'm okay. I'll sit back.
You don't have to paint them.
I have to paint them, Steven.
I mean, you also need something to do in your twilight years.
Yeah. Coming quick.
If I start painting them now, I'll still be painting into my twilight years, Steven.
Yeah. Instead of making fishing lures, you can paint minis for your golden age.
Yeah. Well,
garage again painting his minis.
So do you think that the lower? What do you think it represents when they've got a lower at this stage of the Kickstarter dollar amount?
I think there's two. Well, so here's the problem. I think they've got a twofold thing. They have yet to completely fulfill the multiverse Marvel United set. So that has some people I know sitting on the fence because they're like, you guys are a year and a half behind on delivery of everything, including there was another thing that they released. Their Darkness Rising, their Cthulhu Darkness Rising set, still hasn't delivered yet either. So a lot of people are upset that they haven't delivered stuff, and they're kind of cagey, and they're always saying, "Oh, shipments from China are being delayed," and that's across everything. The other thing is, I think this is their second project that they haven't done on Kickstarter. They've moved over to GameFound. And so I think that there's a lot of people who would have been over on Kickstarter that would have seen this and said, "Oh, yes, I want to back this." And they did send stuff out on their Kickstarter people saying, "Hey, we've got this other thing coming up." But I think there's a lot of people, because that's what I did day of launch. I was like, I know it's coming up on July 10th. Went to Kickstarter. I'm like, where is it on Kickstarter? And I had to go in and look and found it on GameFound. So I think there's a portion of their audience that didn't realize this. And then I think the third thing is there may be burnout. I mean, here you've got Brian Ibbett that's just like, "I've got too many action figures to paint.
Yes.
I can't do anymore, even though Superman is much better than Captain America."
I mean, it is like when you've got that many and you weren't even sure if you had all the Wolverines you thought you had. Like you've got a lot, right?
Got a lot, yeah.
So
300 unpainted minis at this point.
Yeah.
I'm not adding another.
Here's one more pitch for you, Brian.
Yeah.
The United system is a universal system.
Sure.
So that means you can do a Superman Spider-Man team up against Lex Luthor and Doc Ock from the very first DC Marvel crossover comic.
I have
you
that.
You could do that.
Supersize, yeah.
Yeah.
I could get creative with the X-Acto knife and make the Amalgam universe even if I wanted to.
You could do that, yeah. Right now, I was looking this morning. I was like, I need to make sure that I do have all of the Marvel United stuff because they have released some direct-to-market stuff. They did Enter the Spider-Verse set not too long. Yeah, Spider-Geddon. And so I was making sure that I had all those things. The good thing is, if you've got $300 to spend in about a year from now, more than likely you're going to be able to find the complete Kickstarter set up on Amazon or eBay or Etsy or somebody like that. So you can still
that's a really
go
good point. If you go to the Reddit, the Marvel United thread on Reddit, you can actually pick up the existing Marvel United campaigns for pennies on the dollar. So, I'll admire these from afar.
Okay. Well, if and when I ever get mine, I will put them up online for you to look at and be jealous of.
I will. I totally will. Yeah.
But I will admit, I'm the same as you. I got no more room for games. This is only the second Kickstarter that I've backed, or the second crowdfunded game that I've backed this year. I haven't crowdfunded anything this year besides this and one other.
So Tina used to say, "No more T-shirts, Brian. You can't go out and get any more T-shirts," because I'd get T-shirts with weird shit on them. Baseball caps couldn't. She put the kibosh on those. She put the kibosh on pint glasses because we'd win those all the time from trivia, and it would be like a really cool pint glass. Still have my botched pint glass though, because I'm not getting rid of that one. She is now, as of the right after the photo I took with her standing next to the Marvel United boxes, she's like, "No more board games." So kibosh on board games for a little while until we finally play Return to Dark Tower, until we finally play some more Marvel United. We've got we're working on Mechs versus Minions with the Moors. We're trying to get through that thing.
Mechs versus Minions is great. I think if it's the game I'm thinking of, this is the League of Legends one, right?
Yes, and it is great.
It is great. I think especially, Scott, if you've got kids they're still a little bit young, your grandkids are, but I would say anybody who wants their kids to develop some critical thinking and logic skills, Mechs versus Minions is great because you are really thinking in a programming way because you're programming your mechs to go and fight all these little things. And depending on how you lay your cards out, that will change the programming of the bot as it's running around the board. So for people that want to get into STEM stuff, I know it sounds weird, but that's the kind of thing that I latched onto when we got our set and started playing it. That's a great game for maybe people who want to program stuff or just develop some logical thinking.
For sure. Oh, it's so great. Such a clever concept. And I think, once we finish the game, I think I might sell it. So if there's a tadpole out there who's like, "Ooh, I missed out on the Kickstarter for that," because once you play it, once you go through all levels, sure, you can go through them again, but it'll really help my case with Tina to get rid of a game that we've finished. I still have to get rid of Gloomhaven too.
Me too.
And Tina's
Frosthaven.
Like,
do you have Frosthaven?
I don't have Frosthaven. Tina, Tina started hating Gloomhaven well before Frosthaven was announced. So
I tried playing that with I tried
Yeah.
playing that with my youngest a few years ago when he was maybe still too young to appreciate complex board games. And we won the first one. He was super excited. We lost the second one. He's like, no, I'm not playing this game ever again.
Yeah. Yeah, that's kind of Tina's like, because we beat our heads against like the third or fourth campaign in there and tried it 2 or 3 times to get it. And she's like, Brian, I never want to play this game again. So I basically have a Gloomhaven that just has the first couple stickers put into the book. So hit me up on Discord if somebody out there is interested in buying a slightly used Gloomhaven.
There's a market for that. I'll bet you could sell
There
it.
is. There
there definitely is. Yeah.
And I'd
Especially
rather go
that's
to a
why-
tadpooler than put it up on Facebook Marketplace.
Yeah,
which we'll
now
eventually do.
they ship all those Gloomhaven games with removable stickers, so you can play the game again or resell it. Yeah,
Yeah, and those stickers, they don't at all prevent you from playing the earlier levels. It's just like basically you discover a new location with those stickers.
Right.
That's all it is. Yeah.
yeah. It's kind of like a track, like in a roguelike game.
Can I? Is Clayface in this? I meant to ask that earlier. and I forgot.
Not yet.
Clayface!
Not yet. So my guess is, and I don't know what they're going to do with the Batman Pledge because there are so many villains in the Batman Pledge or the Batman universe that they could do a mega box just of that. My guess is because they have Ra's al Ghul and Black Mask as 2 standalone growth ones, that they're probably going to go with something like Return of the Sinister Six that they did on Marvel United, where they're going to get a
Rogues Gallery box.
Yeah, Rogues Gallery box. Yeah, and they haven't even done a Flash one yet either, so we haven't seen any.
No.
Well, Gorilla Grodd, I guess, is
Cold
the
and-
closest that you get to Flash right now, but yeah, they could do that. So no Clayface yet. That one would be interesting to see how they do that.
Well, good luck to them on that deal.
Yep.
Comic-Con around the corner. We got some
is.
schedules and stuff. Do we know anything cool happening? How
There's
Hollywoody
nothing-
is this year? Is it going to be like a lot of?
It doesn't. I haven't seen any Hall H stuff. They're probably going to announce that probably later this week if they haven't done it already. I haven't looked on the official Comic-Con site, but the publishers are certainly announcing a lot of stuff. For people who are fans of the Power Rangers, Mighty Morphin Power Rangers comes to an end at Boom Studios. I don't know if it's because their licensing agreement is up or what's going on with that, but the big run that they've been doing for the last 8 years wraps up this summer. And so they're going to be a big panel for that. If fans are big fans of Chuck Tingle, if you know who Chuck Tingle is, he is a erotic fiction writer of some weird stuff, Scott, like dinosaurs getting it on with people and that kind of stuff.
Oh,
that
he's
seems
actually
on brand.
I know, right?
Wow.
Chuck Tingle's I don't know if he's gonna be at the show, but he is writing a chapter in one of the Boom Studios upcoming anthology books. So some people might want to check that out when it gets there. Of course, DC is going to be there. Marvel is going to be there. Skybound Entertainment, for those people who don't know about Skybound, Skybound is the company created by Robert Kirkman, spinning out of Image Comics. So technically it's still an imprint of Image, but that's where you have all your Invincibles and your Walking Deads and all of that stuff. They're doing some pretty cool things with Invincible, not only with the animated show and other places, but they have a big art book coming out that people, I think, are going to be able to pick up at the show. I don't know that for 100%. But of course, you're going to have lots of exclusives and signings. And again, the main reason to go to a big comic book convention, or really even a local comic convention, is to go and meet creators and meet fellow fans. So if you're somebody who wants to go and you've always wanted to go shake hands with, I don't know, the artist who does Uncle Scrooge comics, he's there and will happily sign autographs and draw pictures and that kind of stuff. If you're a fan of Cullen Bunn, he'll be at a convention. And so getting to meet those creators is always a good time. And I would always say that if you're going to go and meet a creator, whether it's a comic book creator or an artist or a celebrity, don't be a dick, right? Because it's like, why are you going up and harassing these people? They're just trying to make a buck. They already get paid so little to make comics that you supposedly love. Why are you going up and harassing them at shows? So don't do that kind of stuff.
Because people have parasocial relationships with people, and they behave poorly when they believe that about themselves.
Did I hear you say something on TMS that you were wanting to interview an OnlyFans somebody or other?
Yeah, I'm thinking about it. There's somebody.
That would be the big question to go into, is the parasocial side of that, because I think you're going to see maybe more of that going on in that space than maybe podcasting or comic book creators. But
guaranteed, because you got guys who've seen you at your most intimate, and that I think in some brains, to them would equal, well, we're together. You know what I mean? Like I think it's probably a real harrowing, especially for the big creators. It's probably a really hard thing to manage. If I had to guess.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah. And then I would also, besides the people that take off their clothes, you might also talk to people who are just using OnlyFans as another outlet. Like I think Jay Washington, who's a comedian, is using OnlyFans again to promote his stuff. And I think Anna Akana, she has a Patreon page where she does her stuff. But
I was thinking about doing a Frog Pants one that was like completely normal Frog Pants stuff, but I don't know what I would do on there. Like what?
Probably the same kind of stuff you do on Patreon.
I guess so, but what do they want? I mean, I don't mean. Right. I mean, it's just one other channel of okay. Now I'm creating content over here.
What's a unique thing you could provide on an OnlyFans? Even a G-rated OnlyFans Frog Pants page.
Yeah. So I don't know what it would be. I can go PG-13. I'm all right with that. Well,
Batman
Steven.
in a bikini.
Batman in bikinis. That's what we want. Let's get into Boom Studios getting sold. Speaking of Boom, you mentioned them a second ago. Who bought them? Why did they buy them? What happened?
Yeah, so I guess, Boom Studios has been around for like 16 years at this point, 15 years at this point. And at one point, 20th Century Fox had a small ownership in Boom Studios. This was like before they sold to Disney, obviously, but Boom was doing some stuff, and 20th Century Fox was a small part owner, which always brought up the question of, does Disney now own Boom Studios? These kinds of things? No, it was always owned by Ross Ritchie, the founder. And I think Ross Ritchie is just kind of done with comics. He's done running a business for 16 years, and he wants to step out. And so he sold the entire company to Penguin Random House, which is fine. I mean, big book publisher. They have international distribution outlets. They have a lot of good ways to promote, hardcover collections, that kind of stuff. And so they announced last week that Penguin Random House bought Boom Studios completely outright. We don't know for how much or anything like that. And the other thing that's really interesting is Ross Ritchie is not sticking around. Oftentimes when you sell, you have the founder or whoever's in charge stick around for 6 months to a year to kind of make that transition. But he's like, no, I'm going to just retire and go on vacations and whatnot. So good for him.
Yeah, I guess good for him. Like, you did a hell of a thing. It's a hard market, very competitive.
No, I mean, you have been around and I have been around. Major Spoilers has been around longer than Boom Studios was around.
Yeah.
Boom Studios formed in like 2008, whatever it was. Major Spoilers in 2006. So I remember seeing the early days and dealing with their PR people in the early days of, hey, here's who we are. We're a brand new company. And then just seeing them ramp up with Mark Waid coming on board with the Irredeemable series. And then now they've got Keanu Reeves doing the Berserker series, which is a huge thing for them. Carter's Loves the Lumberjanes. That came out of Boom Studios. So they have done a lot of really awesome things over their 16 years. And I hope, and of course they're doing the Power Ranger stuff. So I hope they get to continue to do those kinds of awesome things now that they're under a new ownership.
Yeah, I think so. That's cool. Get paid. You did good work. Get paid.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, there you go. That's all she wrote for today. Majorspoilers.com is the place you can catch up on all this kind of stuff all the time. And Stephen, I'm sure there's something going on over there. So tell the fine folks how to get it.
Oh, man. If you are not checking out our podcasts, the Critical Hit podcast, we are getting into some horror times where we are punching, it's set in World War II, we're punching Cthulhu monsters in the face. You definitely want to check that out. And I was just looking at my weather app a few moments ago, Scott. Here in Hays, Kansas, it is going to be 107 degrees today.
Oh, my gosh, dude.
So you better believe that when I go outside, I'm going to stay hydrated.
Please do. Please do.
Take care.
Don't want you to dry up and die on us. 107, that's hot.
Yeah.
We had one.
Turns into Major Jerky.
Yeah. Major Slim Jim.
Right.
All right. Well done. That's awesome. A reminder that today, the Monday show is early. It's at 3 p.m. Carter and I are doing it early because I have my mom's dinner thing and we have to leave pretty quick after the show's posted to make it on time. So an hour earlier than usual, live here at frogpants.tv at 3 p.m. or just catch the podcast when available. Everything else you can find about this show, you can find at frogpants.com/TMS. And quick thanks to everybody who helped kind of clear out a bunch of stuff in the store. Currently, this store, as mentioned last week, is shut down until we launch its new phase, which will start Wednesday. And I got something rad to launch it with on Wednesday. I'll tell you more about that when we get closer. But everybody is awesome for all your support. Thank you for that. We also made Taylor's last couple of weeks kind of a living hell because she had to ship a lot of stuff. And
right, scramble and ship it all quick now, go!
It was a lot of work, but she's very happy to do it and doing a great job. Anyway, that'll do it for us. Hey, Brian, let's play song and go.
Let's play song. This one is going out to our friend from Lot B and formerly Lot B, formerly Lantronix, and formerly Batu. Gary says, "Hey, Sword and Buckler, I'm turning 75 on July 12th. That was just this last Friday. Let's party. 11 years since my first request of When I'm 64, if you can believe that. Thanks for a decade plus of good times. Let's have a caveman test the ship's phasers. I'm highly appreciative of the audio production, however. Gary, Senior Geek Fisher."
Oh, my gosh. Well, we should probably play at least one of those.
Let's test the ship's phasers.
There you go.
Cool. There you go. How about a birthday? It needs a birthday.
Oh, yeah. You know what, Gary? I'm going to change tact here, and you're going to get one of these.
Let's party.
Although that cut out part of it. Hold on.
Let's party.
Okay, there we go. I don't know why that did that.
Trimmed a little Le Party.
Le Party.
Le Party. It's French.
Weird.
All right, Gary, this is going out to you. He said cover of Neil Young's Old Man or Grateful Dead's Touch of Grey or anything else that I can find relating to 75. Your first one seemed like a great choice, and I love this version of it. This comes from Australia, a TV show that I wish I could see in the U.S. here called Rock Quiz. It is a game show with musicians, popular musicians playing with comedians and just regular folk, and it's all music questions, all music trivia questions. I wish I could see it here. I'm sure I can on YouTube and stuff, but
probably.
Anyway, they take the two musicians who are guests and they have the two of them do a song together. And in this case, it was Liam Finn, son of Neil Finn of Crowded House, and E.J. Barnes, probably daughter of Barnes. What's his name?
Barnes and Noble. Barnes and
Noble.
Barnes.
Why am I not thinking his name? Anyway, incredible singer. Dude has an incredible voice, and I can't remember his freaking first name to save my life. Anyway, they did Old Man by Neil Young together, and it was really, really good. Here is E.J. Barnes and Liam Finn from The Beat Goes On Rock Quiz Duets.
This show is part of the Frog Pants Network. Yes. Get more at frogpants.com.
I'm making a car move with the power of my mind!
Jeez.
Jimmy Barnes. Damn it, Jimmy Barnes.